Hi, everybody. This is a little snippet to talk about some energy conservation and ways to make cleaning a little bit easier throughout the day. I think right now, some of you may be finding when it comes to cleaning with COVID-19 going on is a few things. Firstly, the desire to clean a little bit more to make sure that things are clean and healthy and things like that. But I think the other challenge right now is that with physical distancing and trying to stay kind of a little bit more physically isolated or whatever, perhaps maybe you had supports coming into the home to help with cleaning, whether it be you paid somebody or you had a family member come in and help with cleaning, and maybe that's just not necessarily happening right now for safety reasons and to minimize your risk of being exposed to COVID-19. So I did really want to touch on the cleaning part of it to give you some strategies to try should you find that you're struggling maybe all the time, but maybe you're struggling with that activity right now. So what I would first say, I want to just touch on some of the P's that might be helpful when we're thinking about cleaning. I know in some of my other videos I was demonstrating the different activities, and I'm not going to do that quite so much for cleaning just because it's a little bit harder to film and all that jazz. So I'll just kind of talk you through it right now, if that's okay. So the first P that I would really encourage you to think about is the planning piece again, and kind of planning out what needs to be done and when. I encourage you to space it out over the week instead of doing it all in one day. So maybe, Mondays would be you clean the bathroom. Tuesdays you do some floors. Maybe Wednesdays you do some dusting. That kind of thing, so that you're spreading it out over the week. That way, it's not so much all at once. So really planning that piece out, okay? Also being strategic about what really, in terms of prioritizing, where are really important spots to be cleaning, and what can maybe wait. As I mentioned earlier around the cleanliness and things like that, I'm certainly not an expert in infection control and things like that, but I do know, there might be some areas of your home that you want to clean a little bit more frequently right now. Those places that we touch a lot. So like door handles, light switches, those types of things, just to make sure that you're not kind of carrying anything into the house if you do happen to go out. So maybe prioritizing some of those things over maybe some of the things that need to be done less often. Okay, so really thinking out, prioritize, and planning where you need to kind of spend your most time right now. Okay. The next piece I want to really encourage you with is around that pacing piece. So even if you've planned to say, do some vacuuming, and vacuuming is kind of your job for the day, really planning rest breaks throughout, going slowly and taking rest breaks maybe before you feel like you need them. And so, with that, I encourage you not to say, I'm going to vacuum this whole room and then I'm going to rest. I encourage you to be really in touch with how you're feeling and how your breathing is, and taking a rest break as you need them. When you're doing it, again, the pursed lip breathing, focusing on your breathing the whole time, okay? Oftentimes with cleaning, we can need to be in kind of different positions than what we would normally want to be. There might be some bending, there might be a lot of standing. And so I again encourage you to think about ways that firstly we can limit the bending, and maybe where we can build in more sitting. So the first thing I'll mention is that there are a lot of really wonderful cleaning products on the market with telescoping handles, and I'm going to show you one right here. And the reason why those are lovely is that it really reduces the bending and reaching you need to do. So maybe you can get down on baseboards, you can reach the ceiling fan, those types of things without really needing to bend or reach a whole lot. The other thing that you will probably have noticed, I am certainly not endorsing any brand or anything. This is just one that I use, and that and the reason why it's nice, again, so that one is a Swiffer one, and the reason why that's nice is because it traps and locks in dust and dirt instead of kind of the feather duster that kind of releases the dust into the air, which may act as a trigger for your breathing. So so that is a nice product that you could consider using. When you're looking at cleaning products, though, you need to be really careful. Again, as we've talked about a lot, the role that scents can play in terms of our breathing and how short of breath we feel. And so I do encourage you to try, I think there's recently been a push for more kind of green, clean cleaning products. And so picking something with lower scented fume, like with lower fumes and scents being given off, okay? The other piece of it is that there are a lot of really wonderful cleaning products that we have kind of in our homes. So things like vinegar, those more natural products can sometimes be helpful in terms of managing and reducing triggers for our breathing, okay? If you do need to use something that's really scented and going to maybe give off quite a bit of fumes, bleach is one that I know right now we may tend to want to use it a little bit more in terms of cleaning around COVID-19 and things like that. And I just encourage you, if you have a mask, please wear a mask. I know masks are really hard to come by right now, but please try and kind of cover off and protect your airways a little bit so you're not breathing it in. It is getting nicer outside, so even opening windows, things like that, to minimize the fumes that you're smelling can be a handy tool. Okay. I also mentioned earlier around sitting as much as you can while you're doing the cleaning. And so one way, and so this would also apply quite a lot in the kitchen, is if you're kind of cleaning a countertop or whatever, is you can open up the cupboard doors on the bottom, which will give you a little bit more space for your legs, and pull a chair up and have a seat. Sometimes, as I've mentioned before, just sitting can save you a lot of energy, okay? So I really encourage you, use those strategies that we've kind of talked about throughout around the planning and breaking it up into really small bits. As I've said kind of before, some days might be better and maybe you feel like you can do more. I encourage you on those days still not to push it though, because what can happen is sometimes if you do too much in one day, you might kind of experience a little bit of a drop the next day where your energy is feeling really low. And so we want to keep you more at a level of kind of where you're not having those kind of ups and downs quite so much. So just really taking it slow and using rests kind of efficiently, okay? If you have any questions, please just give me a call. I'm happy to go over cleaning in a little bit more detail with you as you go, but I really hope that you're doing okay. And certainly, again, I encourage you to just break it up into really small chunks. And actually, when we're thinking about the way we spend our days right now, if we're spending quite a bit of time sitting, sometimes cleaning tasks and just doing kind of 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there can act as some nice movement breaks as well. Okay. All right. Well, we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.